Hello, welcome back to Learn Oikonomia. Today we are going to discuss the concept of offer curve. Let's see what it is. Coming to the introduction, the concept of offer curve was first derived by English economists Edgeworth and Marshall. This is Alfred Marshall and this is Edgeworth. Okay, so when it comes to the concept of offer curve, this plays a very important role when it comes to international trade. Let's see the details. What you see here is called an offer curve, and an offer curve would be showing you the quantity of a product which a particular nation would be exporting or it offers for each quantity of some other kind of product that it would be importing. So this part is something, the export part is called offer, and this export part comes for each quantity of some other kind of product it would be importing from some other nation. So it is because of this particular reason that the offer curve is also known in other name, which is called the reciprocal demand curve. Reciprocal demand curve. Okay, so we will be seeing the details of the very same concept. The offer curve would be indicating the different quantities of a particular commodity that a particular nation is willing to offer in exchange of certain quantities of some other commodity. So it will be showing the quantities of a good which would be demanded by one nation from another nation and various quantities of some other commodity which it would be taking from other nation, and this would happen at different relative prices, different relative prices. And as I have told you, as a result of this, offer curve is also known in the name of reciprocal demand curve. Moving to the derivation of the reciprocal demand curve or offer curve, here we have to consider two nation situation. So just consider a case of two nation, and here we are considering two nation, nation A and nation B. Nation A and nation B. So first of all, we will be deriving the offer curve of nation A, then we will go to the derivation of offer curve of nation B. Okay. So coming to nation A, we are considering that nation A is exporting cloth. It is exporting cloth. Okay. So nation A exports cloth. So when nation A exports cloth, it happens as an import to nation B. So simultaneously you can say that nation B will be importing cloth. It imports cloth from nation A, and nation A exports clothes to nation B. Okay. So since nation A is exporting some clothes to nation B, nation B should also give something to nation A, and it is only by considering that we can go for offer curve. And here we are considering a situation that involve nation B to export steel. Here nation B exports steel to nation A, and the other side is that nation A imports steel from nation B. Okay. Now, if the price of cloth increases, just consider that the price of cloth, we can represent it as PC. So this is increasing. So whenever this happens relative to the price of steel, the offer curve of nation A can be derived as what you could see in the figure. So here what you consider is that cloth is measured along the x-axis and steel is measured along the y-axis. Cloth is the exportable commodity of A. And why you call it as exportable commodity? Because this is what nation A is exporting. And why you call it as importable commodity of A when it comes to steel? Because that is something that A is importing from B. Okay, so let's proceed and see how can we derive offer curve of A. So here when it comes to this diagram, you can see that the price ratio is the slope of line OP. So you have a line OP which is the original situation, and here the price ratio is the slope of line OP. And we just consider a situation that the price of cloth is increasing, and we could see that, and this happens more relative to the price of steel. If that is the situation, what happens is that the slope of this price ratio line, this would become steeper. The line would become steeper. And this is shown by different lines. From OP, you are having OP1, OP2, OP3, etc. These lines would be showing this steepness. So as price of cloth rises more than steel, we told that this line would become steeper, and also the demand for cloth in nation B, even though it increases at a decreasing rate. Okay. Now, even though that is the case, in contrast to this, nation A will be taking more steel at an increasing rate. So if you look at points like R1, R2, R3, etc., R1, R2, R3, these are considered to be the points of exchange. These are the points of exchange, and it will be showing you that in this particular point R, you are going for exchange of RQ1 steel for OQ of cloth, and at this point R1, what happens is that you will be going for RQ1 of steel for OQ1 of cloth. At this point R2, again you can have OQ2 cloth exchanging for RQ2 steel. At point R3, you have a situation where you are going for R3. So here what happens, I'll tell you from the very beginning. So at point R, you are trading RQ steel for OQ cloth. At R1, you are trading RQ1 steel for OQ1 cloth. At R2, you are trading R2Q2 steel for OQ2 cloth. And at R3, you are trading R3OQ3 steel for OQ3 cloth. Okay. So by joining different points like R, R1, R2, R3, etc., you will be getting the offer curve of A. And this can be represented as OA. So OA shows offer curve of A. And this is a line that would be positively sloped. It is positively sloped at increasing rate. Okay. Now, having considered or having derived the offer curve A, we are now moving on to the offer curve of B. As I have told you, here B imports steel to A, or you can say that A would be so this is not the situation. What here is that A export cloth to B and B export steel to A, isn't it? Yes, this is how it happens. This is how it happens. So here we could see that the price of steel, we have to consider the price of steel, it is pricing, and this is relative to the price of cloth, and whenever this happens, it will be making the price ratio line to have a steep slope. The price ratio line, the steepness of the price ratio line is something that will be falling. Steepness would be there, but the steepness would be falling, isn't it? So steepness. Okay. So if you look at certain lines like OP1, OP2, OP3, OP, etc. These are the different price ratio line which is having reduced steepness. So let's consider. So whenever you go from OP to OP1, from that or you go to OP2, then you from there you go to OP3, you can see a change in the steepness. Now, since the price of steel increases, we are considering that the price of steel is increasing, and that will be influencing the steepness that we have already seen. And this, especially it increases at an increasing rate. Then what happens to the demand for steel? This may lead to demand for steel by nation A. It will increase, and this will increase only at a diminishing rate. We are considering a situation of increasing price. So whenever price increases, that will be influencing your demand in a negative manner, and that is why it is having a diminishing rate here. Now, so the additional quantities of steel which would be offered by nation B become lesser as well as lesser given certain quantities offered by nation A. So you could see that exchanges would be taking place at point R, R1, R2, R3 as we have seen in the previous case. Here what happens is that you can see that the different price ratio lines are OP, OP1, OP2, OP3, and the quantities offered would be something RQ, R1, Q1, Q2, R2, Q3, R3, etc. for OQ, OQ1, OQ2 and OQ3 respectively. So at R what happens is that you are trading OQ of steel for RQ of cloth. Here you are trading, the two nations are trading R1 Q1 of cloth for Q1O of steel. Here you are trading Q2 R2 of cloth for Q2O, this much of steel, and here Q3 R3 cloth for Q3 O or OQ3 of steel. Okay, so you can have different points like R, R1, R2, R3, etc. You can join these points, and when you join these points, you will be getting the offer curve of B. And again, this would be something that slopes positively with an increasing rate. So here we can see that the offer curve is sloping positively at an increasing rate from the point of view of country B, but at a decreasing rate from the point of view of nation A. Having discussed the derivation of offer curve for both nation A and nation B, here we are going to see the concept of elasticity of offer curve, and this is something that is being coined by H.C. Johnson, and this measures the proportionate change in imports to proportionate change in export, isn't it? You are considering exports and imports or imports and export. So the formula for calculating this would be proportionate change in imports divided by proportionate change in exports, which would be equal to delta M by M divided by delta X by X. So delta M by delta X into X by M will give you the elasticity of offer curve. Here X stands for exports and M stands for imports. Okay. Now, the elasticity of offer curve of two trading nations at specific points of their respective offer curve can be considered. So that is why I have given you the offer curve of both A and B here. You could see the differences in the appearance of both of these, and now we are going to see the elasticity of offer curve of both A and B. So in this figure you can see that the elasticity of offer curve of A, at this point R is what we are considering. So here as per formula delta M by delta X into X by M, we can go for RQ divided by RQ, this much RQ divided by QQ1 into OQ divided by RQ. So OQ is this much completely, and RQ is this vertical line. Okay, and to the right of point, and this is something that you can see that it is a value that would be greater than 1. It is a value that is greater than 1, and from this what we could see is that whenever you move to the right of point R, the offer curve would be more elastic. The elasticity is something that increases, so it would be more, and the elasticity would be coming down towards the left of R. So this happens towards the left of point R. This is the case of offer curve of nation A. Moving to offer curve of nation B, so this is indicated by OB. OB is an offer curve of nation B. Here we are looking at point S and see what is happening. You are again going for the very same formula, delta M by delta X into X by M. Okay, so at this point you will be going for PS divided by P1 into OP, that is this much, P1 is this much, OP divided by PS is this. So this is something that shows you that the elasticity coefficient along the curve would decrease towards the left of point S and increase towards the left of point S. Again, this is a value greater than 1. It will be increasing it will be decreasing towards the point S. Sorry. So just consider the point S and see what happens. So if you are considering left of point S, it will be decreasing. If you are considering right of point S, it will be increasing. Okay. Now, so that's all about the concept of offer curve when it comes to international trade. Thank you for watching. You can like, share and subscribe this channel for more videos. And what I would like to tell you is that you can download the Learn Oikonomia app. I'll be providing the link of the very same in the description box. You can join our Telegram community for free for doubt clearance and discussion. Again, the link of the very same would be given in the description box. I request you to like, share and subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.